Hello my fellow trucketeers. Guess what we got a video on today? That's right. Do you remember that thing? We have some little jobs to do. So I have 3 very small jobs to do in here, which consists of an engine torque dampener, a brake stopper, and some door bushes. And then I also have a medium-sized project for it, and I also bought something rather large for it. So yeah, here's for another episode of Tinkering Around with Johno. Let's get on to it. So before we get on to the first little job, let's have a little talk about the car. So I've recently done a bit of a service on it. So gearbox oil, engine oil, spark plugs, changed both the auxiliary belts, all that good stuff. I also put on the spare wheels I got. So I bought these wheels cheap and had them for about a year. Just put a new set of tyres on them and ready to go. I much prefer this look at top wheel. Yeah, that's pretty much all we've done. We've also got some lightweight mods of rust, because rust is lighter than steel, but that's going to be a project for another day when I've got a week off and a bit of time to do it. But first, door bushes. Let's do that. Being as this is a soft top car, the roof doesn't actually form any structure for the car at all. So the car is strengthened up in the structure with door bushes. So these horrible, soft, standard, very worn door bushes lock into this little cup on the door. So what I've got is some much harder polyurethane ones to take its place, to hopefully stiffen the car up a bit. Very simple job to do, so let's get on with it. So as standard, they come with sort of hex bolts, but they also have like a screw head and a Phillips screw head in them. So we'll just give them a little undo. Take these off, if we can undo them without snapping anything. There we go, nice and simple. They'll go in the bin. Let's get a cloth and give that a quick wipe. Right, so I'll just give that a quick wipe down, some quick detail up. Whole car needs a hell of a clean anyway, but we'll get this bit done while it's off. So now to install new ones. So we'll install them that way, so it has the rounded edges so it's easier to catch. Comes with nice new bolts which are hex or Allen key. Which size they are, I don't know. Probably that one, I'm going to say. Nope. It is that one. So what we'll do is just screw these in. But we'll just do them loose, we won't tighten them right up yet. So we'll give them a bit of wiggle room. A bit more than that. You want it so it has a little bit of room to move, but just so it catches. So then what you do to line them up, and now that should be centered right where it needs to be, so now we can tighten these right up. Actually, think about that. So one thing I should have done, really, naughty me. I'm going to get that out now, am I? Anything you do like this, just a bit of copper grease, just a little bit. That's probably way too much. Oh well. That way, if we ever need to undo them again, next person ain't got to struggle. Make sure it works fine. Look at that. So that should then catch on that cup and hopefully stiffen the whole thing up. Very cheap and expensive mod, but apparently it makes a bit of difference, especially if you're going to be tracking the thing. So, stiffen the whole chassis up. About 36 quid for them, ideal. Right, I'll do the other side off camera, and I'll see you in the engine bay. Right. So next job we're going to do, engine torque dampener. So what this does is, obviously when you rev the engine, because this is a longitudinal engine, when you rev it, it wants to twist in the direction of the crankshaft. So what this does is this will help reduce that twist, which will then help apply power quicker to the driveline. So yeah, it just takes a bit of twist out. So we'll get this installed. It goes along here somewhere, so I'll have a quick look at the instructions and then we'll get into fitting it. So we'll get this installed now. So we've got to take off the engine lifting point here. So we'll put this away somewhere safe for if we ever need it. Oh, it's relatively tight, that. So we'll take that off and put that somewhere safe. So we've taken the bracket off the top, and that bracket bolts on there like that. Again, get some copper grease on that nut. That's much bigger. That's a 17. Click. So that's that bit on. Then we'll get the damper on. Get that on there. So now we need to undo this bit. And then that sticks for a hole in the chassis there. We actually need to extend this a bit. Like 17 mils. So if we undo that, that will allow us to wind that out a little bit. If you can see. Hope you can see. So let's wound that out a little bit. So it's a lock nut, and then that screws in and out to adjust it. A bit too far now. There we go. That fits in there nicely. I think that's the right way. And there we go, that's that installed. So there we go, nice easy job. That'll take not long at all. Let's just crank that lock nut up so it doesn't come loose. There we go. And we'll give it a little rev. And you can see how much that's reduced the twist of the engine. So you can see now how much that's reduced the twist of the engine, so that'll make the power a little bit more direct to the drive shafts. Whether it will create more strain on another component down the line, something we'll figure out later on. So it looks like I will not be doing the brake stopper today. So what a brake stopper does, so with your brakes, there's a bit of flex in the bulkhead. So when you press the brake pedal, you get a little bit of flex in the servo moving. So what a brake stopper does is it mounts onto your strut and then presses against it to stop any flex. So effectively increases your brake pedal. But unfortunately I will not be fitting that today because after opening it, I've realised they've sent me left-hand drive. So this is not going to fit my car because my car is a right-hand drive. So, what a pain. On to the next one. So, after the failed attempt at the brake stopper, what's our next little task? Well, we have a brand new bop. So we're going to be fitting the bop onto there. Might have a bit of a fight in our hands. But yeah, so we've got some gaskets, bolts. Brought another gasket just in case. Some polyurethane exhaust hangers. And obviously the bop. So yeah, got this from MX5 Parts. We'll see how it goes on and see how it sounds. So first job is to jack off the car. Get the jack under the diff. And we'll jack the car up. The higher we get her, the easier the job will be. And of course, safety first, always use axle stands. Nice and gentle. There we go. Just move that out of the way. So it's quite straightforward. Got one exhaust hanger there to undo. I've only got two. One at the back there. Oh, the other one's over this side, at the back over there. So up there. One hanger there, and then one hanger up there, and then these two crusty bolts, which I might just try and buzz off of the impact because I have spare bolts to put on it. So we'll give that a go. Let's get the old wire brush. Fighting chance. Right. See if we can get them on off of the impact. Maybe having a bit of a fight on around it. Right, that one's at least spinning the other side, so we might have a chance for that. Alright. Gotta be careful, because it looks like we're starting to chew that up. There we go, that's one out. That's two out. There we go. That wasn't too bad actually. That's that apart. Now we've just got to get all these rubbers off. Which probably easier said than done. There we go. There we go. Alright, that's one off. It's always the first one that's hardest. Whew. 2, and then 3. Whew. So there's the old box off. Compare it to the new one. It's lovely and shiny. So yeah, what we'll do now is we'll get in here, take the old gasket out, so we don't need that. Get the old wire wheel. There we go. Give that a bit of a clean up. Then we'll get the rest of these rubbers off. So new ones are going to be a pig to fit. There we go, that's one off. 2 off. Whew. And 3. Whew. Oh dear. So of course, naturally, with every car I've fitted an exhaust to, as per tradition, like these two,
Are you ready? God. Make sure it's out of gear.
Protein.
Don't forget it's got the cap.
I've now got to start this up without an exhaust on it, well, without a back box on it, so let's give that a shot. But of course, it would be silly to go around like that, wouldn't it? Alright, let's fit the new one. So these are the new bushes compared to the old ones, so pretty much same size, just these are thinner, but a lot harder. So these are polyurethane compared to rubber. So these are going to be relatively easy to fit on the new exhaust because that doesn't have a barb on the end like the old one does, like that. So it's going to be relatively easy to get it on the exhaust, so I'm going to fit these to the car first because they're an absolute bugger to get over the barbs, and then I'll get it onto the exhaust, lift the exhaust up with the jack and get it on. So wish me luck. I don't think they're going to go on at all, are they? I don't know where that went. Right, so no luck with that. Use a little bit of silicone lubricant. And then bit on there, and then we'll give that another go. There we go. That's one on. There we go. Number 2 on. Whew. Now for the awkward one. Some lubricant on there. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a pain. The exhaust is in my way. There we go. Right, that's the hard bit done. We're going to get that one first, and then we'll do them too, because I think this one's going to be the more difficult one. So, wish me luck. Right, let's hang that down like that. That one on. And now, last one. There we go. Right, so now we've got the exhaust hung. We just got to get the gasket in, which sits in the recess in there. That one goes over it. Bolt her up and we're good to go. Don't seem like the holes line up particularly well, but we'll be able to finagle it around, I think. Get the gasket in, and we'll get the nuts and bolts ready. Seems like I could do with bigger bolts really, but we'll make do. One way to find out, see if it leaks, I guess. It looks like we are almost all done now. So we have these rubbers into place so they're not stretching themselves. That seems alright. That is the new exhaust all plumbed up. Much better. So we give her a start. See how she sounds. Then test for leaks. It's got a bit more of a burble to it, which ain't too bad. No leaks around the gasket, which is also good. Let's give her a bit of a rev. Yeah, so it's a little bit more. Obviously over time it'll carbon up and it'll get a little bit louder, but yeah. But the thing is it's stainless steel, so it's going to last longer than the original one. Yeah, so let's go for a quick test drive. That's the exhaust done. Boop. One last thing. So, what do you think it could be? I might give it away in a second because I'm going to give you the reason why. So, I have a problem. All the stitching's come off. I can actually reach my hand inside. So, I'm not really too worried about taking the roof off. It's something I might get done at some point, but obviously there's other solutions to this problem. So, we'll, if I can find the button, fold that back, put that clip back, and we'll put that clip back, and I'll show you the big purchase that I made. I think it makes the car look a lot better. Just got to fetch my glamorous assistant. So I have gone and bought myself a hardtop, which is makes the card look a lot better, I think. Make sure the wire's inside. There we go. And that clips on those bits. Just pulls back a little bit and then it slides onto them. That's it. And then pull the top down and the whole thing slides forwards. So press that bit down. And then that's it. Do the inside clips. That's actually really loose. I'll have to tighten that up. That's right. Thank you very much, my assistant. And there we have it. Hardtop for the MX5. What do you reckon? I prefer it with the hardtop on. It's a lot nicer inside with the hardtop on. And obviously, it's a bit quieter because you don't get all the wind noise. So yeah. Lovely. Alright, there we go. Let's have a little bit of a small conclusion. Sorry about my dirty, sweaty top, but obviously I've done work today. So, and I'm doing this with the windows closed, so It's a bit warm in here, no aircon. Yeah, the struggles. Yeah, so conclusion, we got 4 out of the 5 jobs done today, which is nice. Obviously the brake stopper's the wrong side. They sent me the left-hand drive rather than the right-hand drive, so I don't feel the benefits of the extra braking. Because I put braided brake lines on this car, it's already firmed up the brake feel anyway. Obviously the brake stopper just had an additional little bit of that. Yeah. The engine torque dampener. Hold on, we'll get on that in a minute. Let's go through this tunnel, see how much extra noise the exhaust makes. Probably not a lot. Right, so the engine, so that was the brake stopper, but didn't get around to doing that. So the engine torque dampener, that's reduced the twist of the engine probably by about 50%, I'd say. It's reduced how much it's moved, so it's brought a little bit more vibration into the car, and it sort of vibrates through the chassis a tiny weeny bit, I've noticed. But this thing's eventually going to be a track toy if I could do what I want to it. I'm not really too worried about how hard, or, you know, this isn't going to be a comfortable car, this is going to be a fun car, so yeah, I'm not worried about a little bit of vibration. But yeah, it's reduced that, so effectively any reduce in the engine moving will then apply extra to the drive line, so it effectively put the power down a bit more directly, so it just improves response a little bit. Whether I notice it, I don't really. I'd say it is, but maybe that's just my mind playing games on me. So that's that. The door bushes, they will stiffen up the chassis to an extent, so I won't notice that until I really push the car. But am I going to push that on UK roads? Probably not. That'll be more again when I come to use it on the track. I'll notice that, because it will take a bit of flex out of the chassis. The exhaust, probably a bit quieter than I expected. It's got a carbon up over time. When they get a bit of carbon built up on them, then they generally get a little bit louder. So, you know, I'm not really too worried about that. It's made it a little bit deeper. I noticed a bit with my ears. Whether it picks up on the camera or not, I couldn't tell you until I edit this footage. But in my mind, it sounds a bit better. But then this car creates so much induction noise, it's a bit hard to hear the exhaust over that. I am going to be changing further components on the exhaust over time, so I'm going to get a 4-to-1 manifold and then a centre section and probably a higher flow cat at some point. So if this back box is not too loud at the moment, that might be better when I do the other mods to not make it overly loud, because obviously I still got to use this to go to work with at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, so I don't want to be annoying the neighbours all the time. Yeah, and then obviously my biggest purchase, which was £700, which I got off Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, is the hardtop. Ever since I got this car, I wanted a hardtop anyway, whether it's for the winter or not. It just makes the car a bit nicer in here. It actually gives you more headroom. Yeah, it just makes it feel a little bit nicer inside. So yeah, I'm happy with that. There was some guy that had the exact same model of MX5 as I did, so he had the Arctic version just like me, exactly the same colour. So yeah, ideal. It's got a little bit of lack of peel on the front, just on the little edge on the front, and then a few little chip-ins around the edge where it meets the body. But that's standard for these anyway. It'll just take a little bit of rub down, a bit of a respray, so it won't be too difficult. So yeah, all fairly easy, straightforward jobs, all done. Happy with that. So yeah, there's an episode of Tinkering Around with Johno for you. It's been a while. Hopefully there'll be a few more coming up soon. So I'll get a few more little pieces to do. I've got a couple of marker lights to put on and that to make it a bit more fancy on the outside. I've got the rust to sort out, which I'll do on a video at some point. That'll probably be in a couple of months. I might do that, we'll see. Depends if I get, really I want a week off to do that, so the car's not like left on the drive like with it half done. I could just crack on and get it done in case I have any issues. I've got some filler in case I need to fill it or anything like that, so yeah, we'll get that done. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Take it easy, look after yourselves, drive safely. Thanks for tinkering around with Johno, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, there's going to be a little road trip coming up soon as well, so keep your eye out for that. Goodbye!